the press.
Did you hurt your hand?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes there are those special cats we worry more about than others. No, not the residents. We know they are home forever, and as long as we can watch, we will get to see them. The kittens, well, they will all get homes too. Some may take a little longer than others, but they always seem to find that person or family who come in and instantly fall in love with them. And then there are those we so want to find a loving forever home, but for whatever reason are passed by when potential adopters come in. We find ourselves going about our days away from the cam wondering, am I missing my favorite adoption? We may rush through our day just to log on and quickly scan the center. Are they still there? We fall in love with many of them, but some touch our heart and pull ever so hard. Normally, it is because we have seen them at their worst in life, watched as they struggled, maybe had doubt they would even make it, and rejoiced when they did. Farah, for example. So many of us remember her as a young cat, and our heart aches when we remember her having seen her during a seizure. She is one of our special ones because we have found ourselves crying while watching her and smiling brightly when she jumps up to Magenta's counter for her meal. So many of us say the same thing when we see Octavia. How is it possible no one has come for her yet? And yet we treasure the laughter she brings us as we cheer her determination to carry out her heist. We wonder and we worry about Kiera, Zelda, Danae, County, Raza, Preetness, Jaina, and others who we just don't understand why they have not yet been chosen. So we love them with a little more from our heart because while we love having them as ours, we still want them to find that special home. Our emotions are torn because they have become ours, but no, they all deserve to be someone's special cat. Recently, we cried and smiled at the time as we said goodbye to one such special cat, knowing she was going home with someone who has loved her from the moment she came to FFRC. We rejoiced when it was official, yet still shed tears because we watched her from the beginning when she struggled, and we all so wanted to ease her pain. She arrived on December 27, 2011. Exactly 1 year ago today. She was just 14 weeks old. She was found in someone's yard all by herself. That in itself is heartbreaking. No cat should be found wandering alone, let alone one so young and in such bad shape. Both of her eyes were sunk in, and the vets all agree she had atrophied facial muscles, causing her eyes to recede. She was given the name Fifi, named after our webcam friend Auntie Fee. At first, it was hard to know just how much she could see. As she got stronger and began to move around the center, it was clear she had some sight, but based on her movements, it wasn't much and it wasn't far. On March 6, 2012, she had surgery on both her lower eyelids. The surgery was called entropion surgery. The procedure was done to try and improve her eyesight. There were no guarantees, and during surgery, she was also diagnosed with synchia. This is where, remember we talked about this. This is where the iris is yellow and the pupil has strands of yellow that radiates outward. And actually, Fifi was the first cat that our vets had seen with this. They of course were aware of it, they read about it, they know about it, but Fifi was the first cat that ever they had in their clinic with it. She probably contracted this as a very small kitten as it was caused by a virus. From her birth around September 20, 2011 until she was found, nothing is known about how she was and what she faced. The surgery greatly improved her eyesight. It will never be perfect, but it's good enough to help her get around and do the things she loves. Her lower lids were not operated on and show no signs of interfering with her sight. She's been checked by the eye vet in April, October, and just before she was adopted to make sure all is well, and it was and is. Torties are second to black cats as being the hardest to adopt out. And add her sight issues, she always seemed to be passed up when adopters came in. But she had her own fan club on the webcam, led by Auntie Fee, who has sent her some stuffed animals to comfort her after surgery, toys, and her very own special cat chair. The night it arrived, Fifi seemed to know it was for her and immediately jumped on the flower where it was placed and hopped in her chair. It was one of those special moments on cam that made people smile from one end of the earth to the other. Fifi also seemed to know the days of the week. Every Thursday she would be found in a condo closest to the door waiting for her special volunteer to come. And when Pat would come in the door, she always would find her Fifi first and give her a big hug. So it was no surprise when Pat announced several weeks ago that she was getting herself a special present for the holidays. She was bringing Fifi home. We love them all, but some touch us more than others, especially those that are faced with difficult challenges and meet them and show us no challenge is too great for a cat to be a cat. And so, on the 1 year anniversary of us having the sweet kitten come into our lives, and the many months that followed when we worried about her, wondered about her, and prayed for her, we know she is home now, surrounded by love, compassion, and her own new family. But unlike some who get adopted and we are left to wonder how they are, we are lucky because we know we will get weekly updates every Thursday. They may leave the center, but they never leave our hearts. Canton, thank you for this Fifi story. Thank you. And Pat, that's your copy of your baby.
Well, I think she sees pretty good. She
It's
certainly,
her depth perception.
yeah, she gets a little hinky when she's like trying to jump down, but she knows the couch now and all the furniture. But she just discovered how to get up on the kitchen counter. And I watched her, and she made it up there, but I moved the box that I had there just because I didn't think that was the best way for her to do that.
Yeah.
I don't mind her up there because Peeps is up there all the time. I just got to find a better way for her to do it.
Yeah. Maybe like a staircase, like
yeah.
That might
I think she might like something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to keep that in mind. But she gets up on the back of the couch, but she's not feeling so anxious and needy to where she needs to cuddle with me all the time. Now it's just special when she does it because now she's just roaming around. She's playing a cat.
She's being a
and she's still trying to figure out how to interact with the other ones.
Yeah.
And I still can't get her to eat with the other ones either. And I can't seem to get her to see. Here's the food. I don't know why, but
maybe she just likes dry food better.
She does eat a little of the canned food, but I think she's going over there and eating the dry at night. But she is sleeping with me at night.
Good, that's what
And
we
every
want.
morning she waits for me to get out of the shower. She's waiting on the bed for me to come back and get dressed.
Good. Well, don't forget to take her blankie home too.
Yeah.
She's got a special Hello Kitty blankie from Auntie Fee for Fifi. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started on boxes.